Keep the players motivated?
Not at all. We're tonight, we're starting 0-0 on the scoreboard. We're here to win the second test. We won the second test. The series looks after itself. The scoreboard's not an issue for us leading into this game. It's been not a problem. The players have been fantastic all week. Been very, very focused and very determined to win both tests.
A lot of talk about a more physical approach from the Australians. How do you hope to counteract that tonight?
Well, we have no problem with that if it's a physical approach, as long as it's within the rules of the game. Not a difficulty. We're well able to cope physically with this particular Australian squad. We've got a lot of guys who relish in that type of encounter, so yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Obviously you're carrying a big lead, but it would be sweet to win this game.
Well, that's what we're about. We're about winning both tests, and that's what we set ourselves before we came out here, was to win the two test matches. I said the scoreboard for us tonight is irrelevant. We're here to win this game.
Thanks very much and best of luck.
Thank you. Cheers, boys.
Luis son go bhfuil daoine ann ar a fanéil go bhfuil taíocha ar bheith ag gimmert an aigna Austrálach agus bhí sé samúil bhí híl an taftan siúcaite luigh sé go sunrach Ty Kennelly, Tommy Welsh, Pierce Hanley, Zach Toohey agus a lehéid agus beg
chud den lad sin atá gimirtan ar dhearna agus is séad sanna géirí go amachaniu agus an cléthe bhainse agus gan a bheith brachar an scór ag an Joe le chorn
Thanks very much. Lovely to be here. This is some sort of monumental deficit you've got to overhaul. How do you do it?
Well, I think the first thing is not to worry about the deficit. I think it's just to worry about this game, and that's been our focus. Obviously, it was poor last week, and we need to redeem ourselves. So it's more about the focus this week and more about trying to get a win.
Did you notice the professional pride of the boys getting pricked a little bit? They don't like getting beaten by that sort of margin in any sort of sphere at any time.
No, that's right. And the group's been good. No, they've been good, and they've been disappointed with the way it went last week. And obviously the skills of the Irish were sensational. So I don't think we're going to match that, but we certainly need to match in other areas.
Intensity being one of those areas?
Intensity. People think we're going to take the gloves off, which is not the case. I mean, the game doesn't allow that. So we're sort of, but our pressure's got to be up, and our intensity to run hard's got to be up.
Good luck.
Thanks, Andrew.
Rodney Eade, coach of the Australian. You, Hutto.
Mahu Ichion. Agus Anish. Hammond's big nach réich an túsa chuir leis sin action agus mar eicin ní ro sé seo tarlú an tatar sé caiite churbe rih caiisteach na líorthóide agus
Ciarán McKeever stíonn sin far thug le bheith muine go leor na me séisnig se siar.
An fada isteach idro Donaghy leis an tucaí go hanha hir an sin ag Ben McGlynn. Tíochta seach go leidir Michael Murphy. Bhí was a trocht ar Murphy an tatar sé caiite freisin nach rá.
Eis na duine is mó a chur na gramithe is dean teachn sé caiite agus níl luck na Australia Robinson Ruckman duine den a prío Australia golas den Ruck a thugann siad ar an mhaoin sin istí i géirí an Gilly agus sios lumí Hallamórathú.
Bhaid an seo ríist. James Frawley for Shelliv agus anár ílú leis tá Ty Kennelly síochta teach agus daoine eile. Níos deisna seo Kennelly! Agus tá sé ceann sin sábhailte ag Matt Suckdach agus deacrachtaí acu an Shelliv lachan seach chur a trasna ag Munfreeze agus an gramú needs lethach déanta ag na héanaí kicksaver seach an seo Mitch Robinson a lá an action uair bháin eile.
Mitch Robinson agus éonta tócaí siar fin bronta.
Agus bhfuil an trí faointe amsia ag na Australia agus fecha Robinson in ríist. Fuair sé trí faointeach níl seo sásta leis sin.
No, Risha Robinson a lár achan a rod agus Kieran McKeever. Well, chorthing mahatar Kieran McKeever an Kiblen Shinowich.
Cúig faointe in a hían na Australia chuntas an ceann sin builte seach ag James Kelly agus smac ítach tóca hí san sin ag Brad Green príomhscorálaí na fórne tachtan se caite. Agus, well, Kieran McKeever agus Angus Munfreeze a méle chéile inis.
Agus an réiteir díobh chulta go Lord Stoffa agus beidir an leir sin agus Janis Conway an cúlaach a rí na seachna bhí Kieran McKeever a caiint agus rá mar srud ag ggóil na Australia gurí sclúcha se thucas ní bheith Virginia ag ggóil siar béimidir ggóil thosaí.
Agus an trí faointe inis amsia ag Brad Green tús wadní sartínta ag na Australia ná mar a bhí sú leis beidir.
Rishala Hanuk Mission Shin Leho Jarda Chak this Jah agus Gramu Incha Facha ag na Australian Chin as Corn Chul.
Now bhí sancha rómhór ag Stephen Cluxton ed husbantas na héad in seachtnach ag stúrú chulahort Estal Gigir ó Oireann na Héireann.
Yeah, wad níos far bhuaine léirthid is teach Marianne Donaghy is tíon sin le céirí ag fanna siar imil na cearna go agus ard san air agus Christianta aige ar Sean Grigg san air is tíon sin Donaghy go chinta.
Agus é 3 points sa tócaí go hanwa in sin ag Kieran Donaghy for sé 8 points sa seachtain a chun. An Ilan seo fear year. Seo ha Stephen McDonald. Cean sin bhfuilte go deas ag McDonald agus tá an 3 points amsia aige. Tá sé sin in aus ar fad fud in na Héireann inis imi chun tusa.
Yeah, agus in éráid an sin le Grigg, Sean Grigg, mas rud é go sé gurí wad níos.
Emmett Bolton, das gúil sé takeí leis ag a héin agus pass ba Shelf tócaí ag Stephen McDonald.
Yeah, agus dearthain go mé Rodney Eade ag ioncar Sean Grigg agus ráid beidir go gaithí.
Nis cean seo bhfuilte go snasta ag Stephen McDonald agus sin sécín go faointí ag a héin nach dóí go hocht inis goir in na Héireann.
Yeah, agus mar dúis na lád níos luhan níos móna.
Go raibh sé ábhalt a scór a thógáil thar na blianta goir in Hírón feicimid cechin áidir leis leis an gceann seo. Ar aus ar fad ó Joe McMahon chuig faointí ag inis go gonne hocht na Héireann. Cínseach go Neil McGee cén fáir tugadh seacha. De sé Green agus tá a 3 faointe tócaí go maithe sin ag Brad Green agus inis tá 6 faointe ag a héin sa glufa, 7 faointe is in the fórne.
I Brad Green agus bhí cléthar dóid ag eisna for an cúil an teachtain seo caite na Australia, captain na Fernie agus duine den na Guinea a cheasamad an Australian teachtain seo caite.
Robinson. Jürgen Telle fáilte ag sin drochceán ó Stephen Milne. An dhúlinn tucaí ag Kieran McKeever wain sin agus an Mark Blackie ag a freisin. Gidí Murphy. Michael Murphy ag amsú ó Wark agus 3 faointe bra fáilte ag Michael Murphy. 6 faointe is in the fórne, scór anmha go dó.
Scóirínta láidir an sin ó Mícheál.
Easton Wood.
Yeah, agus an ceart ag Stephen McDonald bheith mí hásta fa sin man go muidirísear ar seo Wood ag teachtas te agus lámh go mór hart ar bhaine agus hart ar éis Stephen McDonald agus sin ínta contairte ag teachtas te ar an dóid sin.
Nílach freagra bháin ar sin. McDonald in house ar fad. Freagra bháin a dúirt a tucaí Stephen McDonald.
Agus sin hart fan ní buinte tá fáí agus Janan sé go maiid an sin agus Kevin Early ag teachtas te sa bhilachar an léthir sin a bhaint.
Agus ní go hard agus go deas Murphy go dtí McDonald agus inis Rhys Boston seo ag Leighton Glen agus cúlaí deas fáilte ag Fairchill Wanton cusa leis an taftain seo caite agus inis cháfuintí ag in na fórne.
Yeah, cool fáilte ag ríise an seachtain seo Leighton Glen ar dóid ríis Fairchill Wanton as chun na condaithe is beidir is Hannes Lou ach na míon mór de seans ag a bheith immert ar an stáid seo inne coolla eile a ríis eile ach an cóimar sin a bhí idir an tos ar chuúil Zach Smith agus beidir go mé athrúil Januin sin a gan tóhal. Sin me go Kevin Riley ró hásta leis an dóid go bhfuil Zach Smith ag abalta spás a cruúdó híon.
Agus an ceann sin amsí go maith ag Zach Smith sin 6 faointe ar fad ag a héin ach tá 9 faointe fós into the fórne.
Agus is léir ón Cinnal Jackar bhí aganne ó chuil na hangaíonn sin mas rud go bhfuil daine ag seaú is ionta Jackar iad a fiú má ionta Jackar Shelafáil ón ce má mas rud é nachhfuil daine ag bogú seas a spás.
Ceann sin ag beaglaí caithe sé scuile leis agus runní sé an rud ceart agus Kennelly spáinte chud taithí ar a glufa seo ach an Shelafid eis le néhas ach an éis sin tíocht amach go láidir Hanley.
Iad maiú fan in Hanley teacht más an léthúil sin a bhaint.
Spás an éis an seo Tommy Walsh. Deis ag Walsh rudí cinnta crutha an seo agus an ceann sin Gohordo Tommy Walsh, Haran Trosnan, agus on score. Oh, Imro Nu, the Sydney Swans.
He may grow spas as the
Os Corn the goalie, Desh, Eska, and Shot, Egg, Zach Smith.
yeah, why me and Townshend go Cavan Riley, Grushi and Wehan Tussie or is that the Kayak Gurn?
Schnidro, Kennelly, Mark, Inta, Toki, Hissen Shen, Egg, Ty Kennelly, agus Desh, Egg, the head in the Kriech, no let's 3 points, agus Moiti Tandanish. Agus Kennelly, can throw a bit, that's 3 points, agus 3 points here, got out of sport, 3 Cahed in a Fichi 3. Agus, come on the Mahasa, Urub, in the Kriech.
Thanks, a nice way to finish the half.
It's great, personally. Look, it's a great contest. You know, the Australian boys really putting it up to us, and it's fantastic. You know, I think if they had another week, they'd even be well ahead of us by this stage with their kicking. You know, so it's great, and you just see how professional they are about everything. And the contest is real hard, which is fantastic.
Your group's capacity to handle the physical stuff, the vigour's improved out of sight in the last couple of years.
They have, like, you know, I think the actual physical side of Gaelic footballers has got a lot bigger, and AFL footballers have gone the other way. Yep. They've got a lot leaner because the game's got quicker and faster, you know. Whereas Gaelic football, the game is actually a little more explosive, not as endurance-wise, you know. Maybe it's something the AFL got to think about, maybe making the quarters longer if they do want to make the game a lot even.
We'll let you get back. Good luck in the second half. It might be the last half of footy that Ty Kennelly plays in any form of the game. We'll keep an eye on him.
Son agus sin pointe Paul Galvin gur fiú picas there. Tá na cluichí san AFL céad sa fethe nómad, ceir cearú do trocha nómad an taobh. Tá na cluichí seo 8 nómad ga cearú, so 7 nómad ar rad. Is slí é, I mean, tá Kennelly a chafa machchan san ar look beidir go bhfuil sé na rialacha cléanta an nómad I dro maint na haireann agus is léir sin an scór.
Yeah, well, it's core here. Stoka Keko Lawyer is Simeon Imrory coming look last goal and agus Keko physical ta and Clehe ta. I mean, Neil Fern Darrier is a crave in Yov nach will Clar Marken agus Time Rory coming look last goal an Lawyer na Leintasha. So agus tá sé le fescin sa cléisio, tá sé ná an sais physiciúlaach sin a lá seo go hiasca.
Cad a léver a méidir tá feice going suscatí seo. Dus dan na bunrodí tá na Australia gabalta immert in a lehéin ach a second a hain si deisteach a lena héir tá decrochtaí costa.
Tá faibanna cá. Tá clem milta golóir ó héh sin de tá fiostachar an Austrráil cinnte tá níos fearr tá níos míoch cá nómh ná mar a bhíidir an láfií iarach. Fós tá éarn in ánaí doscail sús nuair ein siad liúrthód agus mu dúir Paul ó hebh kicking amach Austrráil sin faibanna agus tá faibanna cá ó scór an cúl agus an spás agus an marcáil ó scór an cúl ní
ní ró sé an culbaire ag gur géanarbí feicú am agus léan Glen Abel sin a churas teach Steve Kieran Donaghy.
Agus sin an áit atá an lábhad uachtar ag na héireannaí éide han sé srí faoite. Dí Glen a ríis tasta se seasta spás agus tá numtocht Tommy Walsh an uair sin ní máchos a chóir a chimró réile éireannach agus a thuúlbáide.
Agus tuigeann sé an eiscarú daine ag an istí ar a chuúil agus go joga leis an fáil sin a thuirt ach támuid go mór an tosaí ar an Austrráil seo 3 fointe eile ag Tommy Walsh.
An thrower bit. Agus Caracha a fiche 3 an Bharna ag méadú an Palmer fad.
Tommy Walsh a ggóil leiscail an sin nar bhaid sé an scarte teachtaiste ar a chuúil leis an fáil sin a thuirt don seans sé fointe amsú.
Agus a ríis níor tugadh deis na Hanley éirí suas agus Brad Green chuir sí aige.
Támuid an seach an seo ceinte Hanley tá seabal a ghlaciúil am an mar sin agus golar é ní chuirtha sin is deachar.
Sís an tíomhlí nach amach an tusa a ríis Hanley anha. Na Kiefer agus féchar seo Green agus Hanley agus sinna i chéadúr ceart is dóthaí go bhfuil córic feiceán ar forc na himara.
Agus hanach sé sin a maithas an fá gur ró Hanley an muohan tosaí gur bhain sé an leithráid agus nach ró Green abal de ghlacu leis agus hanach mu dé agus é ar bhar Hanley agus gró sé i ggurí an gháirna caithú isteach.
Carta buí fáilte ag Hanley agus ag Angus Munfreys freisin. Denú mad agus in áíre níl finín Hanley sásta le sin.
Agus be ceartá gan a bheith sásta faúda mar bhain sé an leithráid go leatha.
Nikoski, go hard san air. Cluxton lena down on what her father agus we floored the Cluxton well Shearach a fight in Ashe Cluxton go hinta o Aidan Walsh.
Yeah, John the Gaiden why Aidan Walsh.
Kick out to Shear and Shin. Chuda on cool Shin. Martin Edog Shetty. Agus a Eastreens Achra in the Mohada Bork. Kieran McKeever agus Brad Green is the Salar Uruanella.
Yeah, August McKeever Arish Gan, Gelu Gan, Liggins, Donna Australia Curra, Estjahar, August and Kart Hillis go home Lenega.
So are you, Cole? Okay, we're going to.
Shari Shella and Kevlin Jogus and Bullishin, Egg Chark this Jashim Easton Wood, Egg Chark this Jah.
United Leshna Hayden Kanshin and Laka McKeever and claims go hard. Is Gralish the Hovlin, Shinner the Water Dakitsa.
Yeah. Far larger Jeshker Wahan that will Sasta Liggins to Rini Shul Harsta.
Agus the Carta Webrun Ted.
Get away, Jack!
Burtonish gonna hate on Agus Anthony Toll. Agus Ikela Corrick and Arki Kela and Teamley in a few. Finian Hanley, Agus Kieran McKeever Nish.
Agus mas rud é goil siad sásta carta bui a runú Kieran McKeever as rud mar sin hála idir híana agus Callan Ward tan
Dúrinneoh le kick amach a bhí Meath Green. Sunk Kuntursach sa dream fight in Shinnig Joe McMahon agus mas rud a go brudú carta bui couple lumad de Chinner McKeever. Give on nach bhúil eile feicáil gin. Mar bhí sé sin Harveh Kuntursach.
Yeah, agus rééis eile seo an Kennel Doyle na Australia Gary Gulliver and Cleheshaw agus Neil Chadabulta and Leho Jamshu to Gary Gullistia agus Namachi Shaw Hashakar Hanama agus Uncle Shaw agus Tashin ain't the content of fact to Lawa Mogin Harter and Winya agus Matamachi Heinz for Kursi Rugby agus Dini Chak the Chandlish now Harter and Sula Tashin ain't the content.
I'm going to relax. What's wrong, mate? We're dealing with it, but we can't while you're all cuddling each other. So if we can move away, we'll deal with it.
Mai again they tohal agus look one isteach in her an sheer sin Arish agus an dói bhfuil sin yet Harlow agus tashin ain't the contact charge Joe McMahon agus gahirithe is just a grin.
Integra Zach Smith Kidavir Shul again.
Yeah, agus Robinson is the Alar Kersey Arishella.
Agus be with the card in the Australian East Tushka, Kahamut Canelli, Hana, Howard Shin, Agus, and Kanshin needs Gnamu Ordgamach and Mark. Toki Gahudrosach and Shinnig, Colin Begley, Agus Paspra, Tucky Egg Begley, the Tommy Walsh, Agus Bazigamach the Henry, and Ruddy Kinsur Honcho, Murphy, Agus Michael Murphy, Sauce and 3 points of Vidana, he was staying on them.
Yeah, Vidana, he was staying Shin, Agus Leighton Glen, Agus and Birchall, Gus Sator, go kicks here, fight you, no, kicks here, fight you, if we're in the hair.
Kennelly. Godfather Agus Donaghy is the Hinshin. Agus Walsh in take the shot. Donaghy reached. Agus did it. Tanya Dog Shetty. Agus Queen to take the chug in the Haydney Tonkinsa.
Yeah, Agus in doing for Gunker Tommy Walsh. It's talking about Kylmwood and chance for Gunker Tommy Walsh because they are Huel and Weesna.
Thank you.
Ish. Callahan le points gone Cade Scott 3 points into Hampshire game in Callahan Hello Agus McAtee Murphy Agus Dyn y dish i'r ochr licin tela a hysnwach well, gwyd gen imert mi hlachtor o'n the head yn ei lawr na hwyra Canshin bwynt sy'n gyhord yn ish Ben McGlynn Agus ta 3 points i bra fforta Egg McGlynn Gonna Australia.
Yeah, maar Durstin sin Gary and Leroy Tucker hek na Australia. Agus Mujigiri in Herni Giri Haktama Leshan Leroy Barry the pass na lava Agus and Shanshin.
He's and Shin Egg Robin Nehas. 3 points a glyph in the shaft and Shakaita. Canshin a male hulach ta the Rushtihan is just a Carnog v Nikoski.
Set play.
Agus Milen Cat, nor be Marab Eshtihan or Hicksir.
It's okay.
Agus Stephen Tuxon Sasta galore Lishin. Agus Gerishin a Curran Yuld and Australia come away.
No, not for a set play. That's the only one.
Oh, nice.
Gerecht. Neil de Renan. Een Tarve. A wide test. agus an scór dúrnach ar nóí ná fuirin na héidir na cuige an Astráil a ficheannaí agus an tra grúte Jacob de 65 pointe ar fad.
Bhí siad ar dóid le linn an dá cluthe an dóid ar thug siad faoin na skillna ólam don cluthe seo na tacticaí ólam don chumarta seo an dóid ar thug siad faoin na maithne agus mar sin de
you must be unbelievably proud of that performance here tonight and last week.
Yeah, well, you know, we set ourselves a target to win both tests, and we're just relieved now. It's now over. We can relax. Like it was pretty full on out there for a while, and we thought it was going to get out of hand, but we're just glad the game's over now, and we can go and enjoy our victory. We prepared well. Lads have put in a huge amount of effort, and they fully deserved their victory last Friday and again tonight. They were by far the better football team.
How did you stay so focused as a group, taking a 44-point margin in? It's a huge buffer to have coming in, and yet you played this game relentlessly tonight.
Because all of us as footballers have been here, we know what if complacency gets in the setup, you're damned to failure. So we've all experienced big turnovers in games and big turnarounds, and we just had to go about our business, make sure the lads were focused. Great group of players, and they're very, very determined to win both matches, and we're just relieved now we've done that.
And you played in these series before. You know what the Australians are like. You're an emotional man. We saw that during the third quarter. Did it step over the line? Is this something that we need to stamp out of this game?
Yeah, we know that. We've been saying that from what happened in 95, 96. Listen, I need to see the tape again. There was a few things out there that we wouldn't have been happy about, but without seeing the tape, you know, we can't really say for sure what went on.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Well, Tuchel Sásta leis an tura
What's that mean?
Oh, don't worry, private.
No, tell us. What is it? What are you doing?
Some stupid dance that came up, but don't worry.
Hey, that's fantastic, mate. What a relentless, professional, incredibly... he's just had his strides pulled down. What a fantastic performance.
Yeah, it was a great win. To get the opportunity to play with your country is one thing, but to come out here and get a good win, a big win, is something I'll never forget.
How important do you reckon the five guys who have played AFL football have been to the mentality and attitude and performance of this group?
Yeah, I think hugely important, especially the likes of Pearce and Tig, obviously, and Begley, who's played a fair few AFL games. They've just taken on board to kind of run the meetings, tell us what to expect and how we want to play, and I think that showed.
How significant is this for you, personally?
This is right up there with one of the best things I've ever achieved. It probably is the best. I'm still having a bit of a buzz here, so I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's amazing.
Let's hope there's many better things in store for you in the navy blue jumper, mate. All the very best.
Let's hope so.
Good on you.
Well done.
agus sin agad mar sin agus na héidirní bócach an Aisling gotí an studio.
Tá súlagam nach raibh máthair Zach Tuaithe a féchantar sin. Buach faointe an tránóna com an gagans an rud a go déireann san béidir?
Bhrálam cléiste chu cheapan páil faoin na chuid éidir bhí chahabh an or tháinig na brísta séas a tam sin.
Bhí a brísta geara flesh-coloured, so bhí aglarim ar sicin ar fein sicin óháin san.
All right, well, look at is tócha just chun cúpla stat a thuirtíobh sa maith. Cúig feinte is seasca. Tá Kennelly san Astráil.
This is the best place to be in the world at the moment right now. You guys know how to celebrate a win.
It's great, isn't it? Sing-song, great singers in Ireland. We love our music, and I think I'm looking all right in an Australian jumper.
You know,
Adrian, this is the way he signs out. Always.
I reckon the Irish reckon you look better in an Irish jumper. Surely you can't turn your back on this. I know the boys in Kerry are keen to get you back for one more go. Are you seriously going to think about
Tá Kennelly Gearan leanach an trasha ar nóí. Agus inis captain na Astráile Brad Green chun couple of focal rá.
Firstly to the Irish boys, well done on the two games. Very tough opponents, and tonight was no exception with a very tough game. So thanks, guys. Hopefully our boys can come over to Ireland in a couple of years and certainly compete with you compete with you guys. Secondly, to the Aussie boys, it was a better contest tonight. We certainly gave it a go. We were competitive, but at the end of the day, we've got a lot to work on and improve before we go to Ireland in a couple of years. And lastly, to the GAA and the AFL, this is a great series, and hopefully this continues and builds and gets better. And lastly, thanks to the Gold Coast people for turning up and the Queensland government for putting it on. Cheers.
Yeah, agus is similar an dúil ag na himmarí sa trai seo agus a gurí bheith páirte sa chumhairta seo. Agus inis cluisim muid is dóilm ó Anthony Tohill. Tá sé chun an tíochtar is beidir chun choran Cormac McAnallen a thuirt do Stephen Cluxton agus Kieran McKeever na captainní blianaíntach do Cluxton ar nói bócach le blach lí a gríomh na héireann go chéadúr ó 1995 agus inis na hain agus Kieran McKeever ag crucha chun an Cormac McAnallen an traggrúta ag fun in na héireann. Yeah, agus is inta anyway sin an bhirteach an bhfuil jobal de cluisteil ó Stephen Cluxton ní dóilm mé.
First of all, I'd just like to thank Australia for 2 great test matches and a great series, and hopefully this series will continue in the long run and let people that's generating through the GA ranks and the Australian ranks represent their country, because it's a great occasion, and I know us as players we benefit greatly from it, make great friends from it, and hopefully it continues. Secondly, I'd like to thank our backroom team, who firstly start off our kit men, Kieran, Porrick, and the great man Wally that did a load of work for us over this last couple of months, and it's just been brilliant. Secondly, I'd like to thank the medical team who care for Dr. Ben, our physio Zenda, our physio James, who've got us in great condition to compete in these 2 test matches. And thirdly, I'd like to thank the management team of Kevin O'Brien, Geezer, Sean Oak, and then the great man himself, Anthony Tohill, and the bomber. Okay, in case I forget anybody else, I'd like to thank the GA who's put on in tremendous work and over the last couple of months in preparing us and giving us everything we wanted to get to this here trip and putting in the hard work in the training ground to get us here. I'd like to thank TG4 for tremendous support and sponsorship that they've created to the players and the GA these past 2 years. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the fans for coming out and supporting us here in Australia. They've just been brilliant to us over this past 2 weeks. And one more mention, these men on the right-hand side. Come next January, we'll be competing against each other. But over this past 6 weeks, 2 months or 3 months, whatever you want to call it, we've bonded well together, made great friends, and long may it continue. As a fabulous bunch of lads, we got our just rewards just there tonight. Thank you.
So Kieran McKeever certainly making up for Stephen Cluxton, the captain.
Well, near Stephen Cluxton sásta Aonrad Rá ach spielbra tuí bhain sin glas captain na Fórne Kieran McKeever agus baisha in the ichi gomaidin do in the héireann Celor mór amach rompu an action díntacha an seo san Astral.
Sá Robert an san bhuachalí gur maigad berta in san láthróireachta tráchtareachta an san agus well tréis líimiid le fuair in na héireann agus Paul, nuair a cluisimid Kieran McKeever a leabhart an san, is léir go góiríonn sé seo do annach chuid fós do bhaintear na héireann agus go bhfuil siad san hain anna bhórálach as mó agus é tiltte.
Tá sé tiltte agus ag deireann scéal sin éon rud is táchtaí go buine na himróirí tainmhas agus maithe fánaigh na himróirí agus maithe an deisiúns an sais taithí sin a bheith imróirí bhfuil is fiúin traisin.
Agus luig an captain Austrálach freisin chomála Kieran McKeever thar cheann na héireann tá sé anatháach go leanna sé seo ó hebh na nimróirí de.
Cinn tó hebh na nimróirí de, is an taon sin sa fáin siad gensaí na héireann